It's March 2nd, 2021, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell. Remember me? I used to be on this show. America's worst governor, Andrew Cuomo, released a statement Sunday after a second aide came forward with sexual harassment claims. In the statement, Cuomo said, "At work, I think I'm being playful and making jokes that I think are funny." Sketchworks NewsBrake has obtained a copy of a joke Governor Cuomo thinks is funny. Knock, knock. Who's there? Show me your breasts. Cuomo says his intensely personal questions about the sex lives of his subordinates were just an attempt to be playful and would have never been interpreted as harassment if they'd have just smiled and played strip poker with him. Cuomo saying he never intended to offend or harm anyone is like saying, "I didn't mean to punch you in the face, but momentum is equal to mass times velocity, so who am I to question the laws of physics?" A third woman, who didn't work for Cuomo, accused him of sexually harassing behavior at a wedding, including placing his hands on her face and asking her if he could kiss her. Cuomo says that allegation is a misunderstanding caused by a chronic condition of resting rape face. Lost in the sexual harassment and bullying allegations against Cuomo is the fact that he killed thousands of elderly people and then covered it up. Maybe that should have gotten him in trouble. Cuomo also upset his supporters by coming in third place in a Herman Munster lookalike contest. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says a New York Times story calling him the worst Secretary of State in history is, in his words, a badge of honor. He hopes to eventually become the worst President of the United States in history as well. In a move straight out of the Bible, a golden idol of former reality TV star Donald Trump was presented at the CPAC event this past weekend. When asked for his most holy of thoughts, the Lord God Almighty said, "Leave me alone, so that my anger may burn against them, and that I may destroy them. Then I will make America great again." Or something like that. When asked how on earth a thing like this happened, Aaron, the brother of Moses, said, "I don't know, man. They were all tired of waiting, so I just took everybody's earrings, threw them in the furnace, and out popped the golden idol of Trump." It should be noted that the artist behind the graven image of Trump has gone on the record to say, it's definitely not an idol. An idol is something somebody worships and bows down to. This is a sculpture. Trump himself is the idol. 2 U.S. Navy ships operating in the Middle East have suffered an outbreak of the coronavirus and were ordered to return to the port of Bahrain. Residents of Bahrain replied, "What? No, don't come back here. Stay where you are. What are you doing?" In an interview, Dr. Jill Biden revealed that after going through divorce with her first husband, she was insecure and felt like a failure. But after being married to Joe for 40 years, she now knows what true failure looks like. This Friday, Pope Francis is traveling to Baghdad in a show of support for Iraq's persecuted Christians. Critics are calling the Pope's trip a bad idea, mainly because March is the start of the peak Baghdad travel season. Airline tickets will be much lower in June. The Vatican denied rumors that the Pope will be flying on Spirit Air. A new year means it's time to use that health insurance many of us finally have. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard thought so, but it turns out his dental insurance is about to take a bite out of him.
I'm due for my 6-month dental checkup, and I just found out I already hit the maximum that my insurance company will pay. And it's only March! Wow! I should explain how I got to this point. In March of 2020, I was in a serious bicycle crash that shattered my 2 front teeth and ripped up my mouth and chin. I didn't have dental insurance at the time, so I paid around $3,000 out of pocket to have the damage fixed. We now flash forward to 2021. I now have employer-provided dental insurance. Yes! And at the right time, too, because I needed a root canal to correct a painful dental abscess. Ouch. Except my insurer didn't update its records in time, so I had to pay out of pocket for that and wait for reimbursement. Double ouch. Oh, did I mention that I needed a second root canal procedure because the dentist missed one of the roots? Guess who paid out of pocket because the specialist was out of network? It's one of these three people. Go ahead and guess.
It's coming to me now. I see financial disaster in your future.
And I'm going to get the whammy for the rest of the year because I hit the maximum my insurer will pay. It's all out of pocket from here, baby. That's not like my insurance company, United Healthcare, is hurting for money. In fact, the company made just over $257 billion in revenue in 2020. As a Forbes article puts it, health insurance is like three-card Monte. The dealer always wins. I can hear some of you saying, Tim, you should have read your policy. All right, point taken. But how many of us have the time or the 2020 vision to read through all of that fine print? And more importantly, what do you do if you don't agree with the terms and conditions? For example, my apartment complex installed wireless smart locks on everyone's front door. I have to use an app to unlock my door, and that app requires me to resolve any disputes with the app maker with out-of-court arbitration. Sure, I could decline, but how am I going to get into my apartment then? Pull a Fred Flintstone?
Well, Mom?
If you're still watching, you're probably wondering, Tim, where's the punchline? The joke is that we live in a country where health insurance companies can rake in billions of dollars in profits every year, and ordinary people are left to wonder if their policies are going to cover something as simple as having somebody scrape plaque off of their teeth. And I think after the year we've had, a lot of people will have no choice but to laugh, because by now they've run out of tears to cry. You know, I could always just start an OnlyFans and see if that helps. For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Allard.
OnlyFans? You could just do a GoFundMe like everyone else. Look, I'll even pitch in You know what? I'll have to circle back with you on that. In a decision that has made many users of Facebook irrationally angry, Mr. Potato Head has dropped the Mr. and will now just be known as Potato Head. When asked for commentary on why the sudden change, the Spud responded, "Please, Mr. Potato Head is my father." Mrs. Potato Head has gone back to school and hopes to be referred to as Dr. Potato Head by next spring. The 70th Golden Globes were held this past Sunday night, and once again, Sketchworks NewsBrake was resoundingly snubbed. I guess I slept with Amy Poehler for nothing. Controversy around Kate Hudson. The actress received only one nomination, but somehow ended up with 2 Golden Globes. Last week, former President Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen launched a new podcast called Renegades Born in the USA. According to Obama, the drive to podcast was in his DNA, or at least the white half. Speaking of the white half, the Coca-Cola Company has instructed their employees to be less white in an internal diversity training video. Coca-Cola employees will now receive dance lessons and a fully stocked spice rack as part of their usual compensation package. Apparently, the spices are supposed to be used on your food to add flavor. But none of us here would know anything about that. After closing due to the pandemic, New York's Lincoln Center will be opening outdoor stages for performances this year. Because there is no better way to enjoy the ballet than with a light breeze on your face while a homeless man pees on your shoe. Malachi. Lady Gaga's dog walker, who was shot as two of Gaga's French bulldogs were dog-napped, took to Instagram yesterday to say how grateful he is for the outpouring of love he has felt since this near-death incident. He then added, "And you don't have to keep calling me Lady Gaga's dog walker. My name is Ryan. Call me Ryan." Now, I don't often editorialize on this show, but I would just like to say for the record that we at Sketchworks NewsBrake condemn this sort of senseless violence. All of us at Sketchworks NewsBrake wish for a full and speedy recovery to Lady Gaga's dog walker. And did you know Lady Gaga has no royal lineage? She just started calling herself Lady. I had no idea you could just do that. Back on October 13th, Sketchworks NewsBrake reported on the Buffalo Bill House, used in Silence of the Lambs, going up for sale. For those of you who missed it, here's a clip. The house, used for serial killer Buffalo Bill's home in the 1991 film Silence of the Lambs, is for sale. Wouldn't you want to live there? I'm not sure why we ran that clip. It's literally the same information I just shared a few seconds ago. But do you see how much better my nose looks now? Anyway, someone did want to live there. An art director and prop stylist from New York City named Chris Rowan purchased the home and plans to make it a bed and breakfast. Guests can choose between a 1 or 2 person pit in the cellar. Rowan said he doesn't think guests will be around long enough for breakfast. A woman who entered a supermarket and realized she was not wearing a face mask was caught on the store's security camera, removing her thong and placing it over her face as a makeshift mask. The woman and I plan to marry in the fall. Sunday, at the Colo-Guard Golf Classic, many golfers wore a red shirt and black pants to pay tribute to Tiger Woods, who was badly injured in a car accident last Tuesday. Golfer John Daly, who was not playing in the Colo-Guard Classic, also wanted Tiger to know he was thinking of him. So he solicited a Waffle House waitress. 2 female beach volleyball players will boycott a tournament in Qatar after tournament officials banned playing in bikinis. Joining them in the boycott will be men. Staying with sports, a man's own cock killed him during a fight in India. By that we mean a rooster killed him during an illegal cockfight, hence the sports reference. Turns out the man tied a small knife to its leg. According to police, the rooster stabbed the man in the groin. Cock stabs a cock. A group of New York City yoga and cycling studios are suing the city for being shut down while other gyms remain open. They argue that the classes are an essential place where New York women can feel empowered before they go home to eat Thai food and die alone. Saturday, archaeologists in Pompeii, Italy, unearthed an intact ceremonial Roman chariot. The chariot is believed to be over 1,900 years old and was most likely used by Joe Biden to travel to his 9th grade homecoming dance. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxell. Say hi to your mom's Golden Globes for me.